Those of you who've seen this before will know I've got this problem with the Orange Lodge. The Orange Order. A group of people who I believe to be individually and fucking institutionally incapable of movement without musical accompaniment. They simply can't do it. We're going to the shops, get the drum! I want to go to the toilet, come back for the flute. Beep, beep, beep. So I was in Belfast recently. And I was getting this lift with this festival organiser. And he said to me, tell me, Mark, who's impressed you politically over here? And I said, what, who's impressed me? Yes, who's impressed you politically? And I said, David Irvine. Not David Irvine, the Nazi historian. David Irvine, the guy who's just died. And he was a former terrorist gunman who led the working class Protestant loyalists to the peace table. I said, he's quite impressive. He said, would you like to meet him? I said, that would be a laugh. So, we get to the gig, I'm doing a sound check. There's just me and a couple of technicians in the room. This guy walks in holding a mobile. Mark, it's David Irvine on the phone for you. It's David Irvine, you said you wanted to speak. I didn't. I've turned into Orville. I didn't. He gives me the phone. I pick up his phone and this voice on the other end, it's true, just goes, Mark Thomas, you've just bounced into my life. What exactly is it you want? And I just behaved Englishman under pressure. I wondered if you'd like to meet for a cup of tea. And we did, we met the next day. And I can tell you, former terrorists like a lot of sugar. And we met the next day at this hotel, and I walked into the lobby and I thought, don't say the wrong thing, don't fuck it up. And I walked in, I saw this guy, he stands up and he goes, Mark Thomas. I said, David Irvine. He said, I recognise you. I said, I recognise you, but you're smaller than you look in the murals. Anyway, I begged and they're still intact. So, the story I want to tell you is this. You know of Brian Hoare, the peace campaigner in Parliament Square? Yeah. Right? Been there for 5 years. And Labour brought in a law, the Serious Organised Crime and Police Act, and 6 sections of this law, 132 and 138, for those of you interested, pertain to Brian Hoare, specifically to kick him out of Parliament Square. Some people might think it might be a tad peevish, small-minded, nay, cuntish to target that much law at one man. And what the law says is, as soon as this law is given the royal assent, anyone who wants to demonstrate in Parliament Square and its environs needs to get prior permission from the police, in effect a licence to demonstrate. Law gets passed, Brian Hoare's lawyers go to court and say, well, you see, the thing is, the law says once the law is passed and becomes actually part of the legal statute, that anyone requires a licence to demonstrate. Brian Hoare has been demonstrating prior to the law being passed, and therefore it doesn't actually apply to him. And some batty old judge went, no, you're absolutely right, it doesn't. So he doesn't have to have this bit of law applied to him. Meanwhile, any of us want to demonstrate in Parliament Square and its environs, you need to get prior permission, in effect a licence. So, what counts? According to the police, one person with a badge, say a CND badge or a Tory party badge, should ever any be in existence, you need permission from the police. One person with a banner, you need permission. My mate Sean had a picnic in Parliament Square. The police came up and said, move or we're going to nick you. She went, what for? She said, you're having an illegal demonstration. She went, nah, a picnic. Nah, illegal demonstration. She went, doilies, cake, picnic. The cop went, cake, pointed at the cake. It had one word iced upon the cake, which was a Victoria sponge, and the word was peace. And the police deemed her cake to be a political cake. And she therefore needed prior permission 6 days in advance, prior to breaking the Tupperware seal, to expose said cake to the public arena. And I thought, any law that means you can be nicked for a fucking cake, we should play with. So I thought, they want us to apply for licences, let us do that. I went down to the police station, to Charing Cross, handed in my form, I'd like to have a demonstration. They wrote back. that I have this at home, my first letter from the Metropolitan Police, Charing Cross. Dear Mr. Thomas, it's exactly what it says. I, Superintendent Terry, do hereby authorise your demonstration, calling for the abolition for the need to get authorisation to have demonstration.